Politics is nothing but the art of deliberate lying. But the true leader understands that the truth doesn't cost you anything, but a lie could cost you everything. Coming up. You remember that in the past, just a couple of days ago, couple of weeks ago, Malema accused Naledi Pandor of being involved on VBS scandal, accusing her of having benefited from VBS. And I did a video on that, but just to refresh your mind, remember this?
Naledi Pandor on the line, the former Minister of International Relations. And before I bring her on, in case you missed what Julius Malema, the leader of the EFF, said about her, this is what he said.
Zuma paid back the money. Zuma also paid the VBS, if he did, a bond, which he got. Naledi Pandor was also in the VBS bond or something, which she was there. They are your darlings. You will never know their names. You know the names of those you don't like to demonstrate there's no principle. Many names, a lot of names are there.
So this is what Julius Malema said. And as you can hear there, when he said it, it surprised me because I've never seen any reference of Naledi Pandor to the VBS scandal. And I have really followed the VBS scandal very closely from the time when I was even a field reporter where I was reporting on it and going to press conferences. I read Thierry Motaung's report, all of it. I don't remember ever seeing the reference. And as I was getting surprised there, and he said, yeah, you're surprised because these are your media darlings. You never ask questions about them. Well, let's hear from Dr. Naledi Pandor now, who's joining us on the line. Dr. Pandor, thank you for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement, and thank you very much for accepting my request that I come on to your show to clear up this matter. I also hope I'll have an opportunity on the very show that Mr. Malema was on.
Yes.
Because I'm sure the public is wondering. I mean, I've never had a bond from VBS or from any bank outside of Cape Town because my home is Cape Town. I bank in Cape Town, and that's where I've had a mortgage from.
Yes.
So I just don't know where this VBS story comes from. And I, have never said a negative thing about Mr. Malema. So I must say, as a leader of a political party represented in Parliament, I'm disappointed that he would just be so dishonest in this way. It's absolutely shocking, and I can only call it a very weak attempt at attempting to besmirch my good name.
Well, it has been brought to our attention that, after all, Malema lied about Naledi Pandor and VBS scandal. He was asked to bring evidence, but Malema was found wanting. He couldn't even come out to face the public with evidence of whether Naledi Pandor has indeed benefited from the VBS. Check this out.
I thought I'd end, Dr. Pandor, with how you deal with the heavy responsibilities of high office. The shots fired in your direction. One of these incidents I'm thinking of is, among others, EFF leader Julius Malema saying in that interview with the SABC that you were in the VBS mutual bond saga. You responded, challenging him to provide the evidence and then to publicly apologize. Has he done that? And are you going to take this matter further? Why would it be important to take it further and to address this?
Well, I've issued a public statement today which fully sets out what has happened. My lawyers wrote to the lawyers of Mr. Malema, calling on Mr. Malema to publicly apologize because what he had said was a lie. I do not have a loan. Never have I applied for a loan from VBS. I don't even know where the VBS office is. Secondly, Mr. Malema failed to act into the deadline we had set for him to publicly apologize. What my lawyers received was a response from his lawyers, a response from which I have quoted in the media statement I released this morning. He has said he meant me no harm, and while the words were harsh, I should take it that he meant no harm. He also undertakes that he'll never make such a statement again. But he doesn't say that he lied. He says it was part of political discourse. This is what his lawyers are saying. So, in a sense, he's admitting that actually this was a dishonest offense to me, and it really impaired my dignity. And I wish he had had the courage to stand up publicly and say he was wrong. From the letter from his lawyers, it's clear that that is what he's saying, but he doesn't have the courage to come back to the public stage and say it himself. And I'm really quite disappointed in him, but I'm not surprised.
Well, in my previous video, I did say that if Malema doesn't bring in the evidence of Naledi Pandor having been involved in the VBS, this really could affect his credibility going forward. This is a man who's already been characterized or named a flip-flopper. Now, can you imagine what is this going to do to his political career going forward? Consider again that he is losing members. He's losing EFF members to other parties.
That would suggest he's acted cowardly then, Dr. Pandor.
I believe he doesn't have the courage to stand up because he throws, these allegations from time to time against public figures. And then he hides under the banner of his lawyers. And this is exactly what he's done with me. I had said he must produce the evidence and really explain to the South African public how did I, living in Cape Town, miss every bank in Cape Town and go to some place in Limpopo to apply for a loan. It's a bizarre allegation, and he knows it. His lawyer's letter knows it, states it very clearly.
Dr. Pandor, thank you very much. And
I remember some of you guys even warned me and say, hey, you must be careful. Julius Malema won't make such an accusation without having an evidence or proof of what he's talking about. Well, it turned out he doesn't have anything. Dololo. What I found so amazing is that he couldn't even come out to publicly apologize to Naledi Pandor about this. Instead, he spoke through his lawyers. That doesn't look good at all. That doesn't look good for Malema at all. The big question in everyone's mind now is this. Why could he do that though? Why could he do that? Because it doesn't make any political sense. Why could one do something like that? Instead, he loses more credibility from his own EFF members and to those, of course, who are planning to join EFF members in the future.
Naledi Pandor was also in the VBS bond or something, which she was there. They are your darlings. You will never know their names. You know the names of those you don't like to demonstrate there's no principle. Many names, a lot of names are there. This is just used to blackmail people.
I don't see any political strategy in this. I only see a man who's shooting himself on the foot right at the time when he's most vulnerable. And if Naledi Pandor pushes for Malema to publicly apologize, that doesn't look good for Juju. That doesn't look good for Juju at all. Now Naledi Pandor has sent her lawyers to Malema demanding public apology. Now, what I want to know from you guys, do you think Malema is gonna apologize publicly to Naledi Pandor? What do you think? Let me hear your comment below, and don't forget to subscribe if, of course, it's your first time on this channel.